So welcome everyone to the 12th exhibition of Stupid People, and as promised, today we are going to be covering Amberlynn Reid. I promised no more content constables. This is not one of them. You've all lucked out. I want to cover 3 separate incidents since my last content constable on her that I believe need addressing. One would be her current health and weight. The second would be the subliminal messages. Yes, I know about them. Thank you, Alex. And the third would be Twinkie Star, her dog. The reason for all 3 of these is because they paint a rather grim picture. Somebody who lacks conviction, somebody who is not very self-aware, and then somebody who is irresponsible. So to the first part, we should go back to when Amber weighed a mere 572 pounds. I say mere, I know. Since then, and it's been about 10 months I think, Amber's done really good work. Got them gains. In this context, gains means something completely different, in its swag, so I'm sure you all understand what I mean, brethren. With what Amber's been doing, it has continued down the path of what many would consider self-destructive. Amber, please get help. It is readily and freely available to you, and a quick check on Google, I'm sure you wouldn't have too much difficulty finding the assistance you require instead of finding those that say yes to you. A small part of me was hoping that after seeing what Becky was doing, although she is going through her own issues right now, but with her weight loss, perhaps you would have learnt from her. Although it is equally likely that it was rather tricky to remove certain produce from gravity's pull, but I can't be too sure of that. That is for the scientists to work out. I did some digging and found out that it has been a long time since you've done a proper weigh-in, and on top of that, you're refusing to do it. Many are speculating that while the camera adds 10 pounds, you have added an additional potentially 30 to 50 to what was 572. I personally don't mind, don't care. I think though if you are going to continue down this path of marketing yourself as a inverted weight loss channel, then perhaps you need to be a bit more open, honest and frank. There are many times you've gotten on camera and immediately said, I just finished crying, but your face would indicate otherwise. It is all a show for you to then play victim, and I see that enough in the more recent Twinkie-related content, and we'll get to that soon. Along with the increase in your weight, which is obvious for everyone to see, you have become less mobile, which is very much apparent. Your shopping trips in a mobility scooter would confirm it. You've also had a number of issues health-related, and these are rather concerning, because they may be something minor to the majority of people who are of average size, maybe even some that are slightly over and slightly under. But for somebody who's a lot bigger, the issue is exacerbated by poor health. For you, this would come courtesy of a bladder-related problem. Might I recommend seeing an actual doctor, as opposed to the ER physicians, and having regular treatment for the issues you have. Now, you've indicated you don't go to the bathroom that much. You really need to change that, because that is going to lead to one rather unfortunate conclusion, and you're not going to like it. I'm sure your haters will love it, but I don't like the idea of it, and I'm sure you don't too. So please don't be afraid of the porcelain sink. It's where things that you can't eat go, okay? And we know you're certainly making enough money to then not have to resort to eating from the porcelain sink, because it's Vlogmas, everyone, and coupling with the additional views you get from people coming from the reaction channels, your views are pretty damn banging right now. I'll be honest, so are mine. Thanks to everyone that's turned up. Hi! This is a good month for you. January's going to be fantastic once you've done your taxes. Do you know how to do that? As far as the health goes, you are a massive contradiction. And it is entertaining to watch you contradict yourself on a regular basis. As far as your health goes, there are other issues at play, not just those that are obviously and blatantly physical. There's the addiction to buying things for the sake of buying them. We never see you wear any of the things you actually buy. We never see you use the notebooks you buy in abundance. Just to make comparisons here, because this is interesting. I own like 2 notebooks. 2. One I currently use to write notes for videos in, and the other to replace it. And the only reason I have the second notebook is because I got it for free in a loot crate. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a second notebook. I don't have a collection of pens, I have one pen, because I don't need another pen. The only things I have in excess are things I use, like my guitars, and 3D printer filament that generous people have bought off my Amazon wishlist. Now, to move on from your health concerns that are both physical and mental, because you need help for all of them, there's an addiction to more than just food in this. I now want to talk about the next problem you have, and that was the reposting of subliminal messages left in people's videos that you then put on Snapchat. Now, I don't follow your Snapchat, but So Psyched does. Link to her channel down below. I'm actually going to link the video as well, because to me this is quite interesting. There's Gullible, and then there's that. You made it seem like you'd be the first one to discover it, but I think Kiwi Farms was onto that long before you were. I think perhaps you just took a few pages longer to get to the actual bit. Well done, Farms. You gotta. There has been, and it has been recognised by a number of reaction channels, an increase in those not just liking your videos, but leaving positive comments. This, because you are gullible, has you acting and reacting to the positive and pretending the negative, the vast amounts of it, does not exist, which has kind of allowed you to get catfished, to an extent. And while I'm sure there is at least one or two comments within all of those positives that is truly genuine to you, I would be more inclined to believe, actually, the majority are there to try and find a new way to troll you, because they want to see you self-destruct. I don't. I want you to get help. I want to live stream with you, so I can tell you this to your face, because I truly want to understand and have you understand what you are doing that is wrong, and tell you how to get the help. If you don't already know, but chances are you think I'm nothing more than a hater, so you won't listen to my advice. But a live stream would certainly be quite interesting. The offer is open, by the way, Amber. But you have been trolled on a number of occasions since that last Content Constable, and on each occasion you seem to have fallen for it, which has been quite amusing. In one respect, I pity you for that, because it tells me you are desperately trying to find the positives within all of the negatives, and because you've fallen for their positives being trolls, you've been made to look foolish, so you try and find a way to fob it off, which, and this is me being honest with you, is utterly pointless. Might I recommend instead, if you don't care what the haters think, then just ignore all of it, because you're going to be very hard-pressed now that you are so notorious, or infamous. You're going to be very hard-pressed to find a genuine person that cares, which is where I then end up leaning in the direction of you won't accept my offer of a live stream because you won't think I'm genuine. But I would point out, and I'm sure many other creators who have responded to you would admit, I'm probably the most genuine of them all, whereas the others will be a bit more blunt. At least I have some tact. I choose my words a little more carefully. Let's go with that. Now, to move on from that, I want to bring up the last thing, and this one irked me to a degree where I said I would make this video. I have rules. I have very strong principles. Certain things must not happen to certain types of people. Animals must be given all the help they can possibly be given at the earliest possible opportunity. Always. A pet loves and respects and unconditionally does this to you. So when your dog, let's say Twinkie Star, is under the weather, and your dog is unable, your overweight dog, is unable, with nails that are barely ever clipped and never walked, unable to jump onto your bed that is already on the floor, because, yeah, big surprise, you need to get your dog the treatment your dog deserves. I say deserves because honestly, deserves is needs, and deserves should be an outright yes on it. So when you make a video talking about it and how much it hurts you and affects you, but you yourself aren't doing anything about it, only to then within the same video go to Chili's, which thanks to Michael B. Petty is only a 6-minute drive from a vet that is open 24/7, somebody has their priorities wrong. And we know, by the way, all of this, because you decided to start vlogging at Chili's. I'm sure the food there is delicious, but the health of the animal that trusts you, loves you, respects you, is more important than what you put in your stomach. Back to that addiction thing again, huh? And we know about this because While cooking food and prepping meals, you're always saying, I'm so starving. You're really not. Twinkie needs help. I'll be honest, Twinkie needs to be taken from you and given to a home of people who will love and treat her with the respect she deserves. You should be better than this. And spinning something like that, to remain inactive, to then go and do things to make you feel better while leaving your dog in pain, is a damning statement. A damning statement for the kind of person that you are. The word narcissist now is synonymous with you, and I would advise you do something to address that without in turn making it all about yourself. Although upon a small amount of reflection, this is the one time where turning it into yourself would be the right thing if you're getting help for yourself. But I would also recommend at the same time you get your dog the treatment your dog requires, and not just use your mobility scooter around a supermarket to buy treats that supposedly help with arthritis on the assumption your dog has arthritis. That is WebMD noobness. With all of this, I'm very much intrigued to know what you think. For me, this is bad optics. There's nothing good about it, and I want Twinkie help. In fact, get Twinkie the help first, and then you can help yourself. And I don't mean helping yourself to the contents of the porcelain sink, or if you want to give it a name you're probably more akin to, the porcelain bye-bye tunnel. So please let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. And of course, to those who are watching this via the premiere, hi! Hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, if this is being released on the Thursday, the 19th of December, although it'll probably be demonetized, but oh well, I'm streaming on the Omegon Plays channel at 8:30 PM GMT, some Euro Truck Simulator? Because I'm exciting, yo. Swag. If I don't see you there tonight, have a fantastic Thursday, and thank you all for listening.